Howdy, I'm Don Dale, and welcome to ColombianSpecialtyCoffee.com. Today I want to take you through 300 years of history, the story of how Colombia became the world's most celebrated coffee nation. Colombia is the world's third largest coffee producer and the only country that hand harvests 100% Arabica coffee at commercial scale. More than 550,000 farming families work these Andean mountains. But this isn't just a story about a crop, it's the story of a nation. It all starts in Ethiopia, where the coffee plant was first discovered, and it spread through Yemen, into the Ottoman coffee houses of the Middle East, then to Europe, and finally, through the Dutch colonies, to the Caribbean island of Martinique in 1723. That same year, coffee arrived in Colombia, then a Spanish colony called Nueva Granada. And here's the story I love most about those early days. A Jesuit priest named Father Francisco Romero wanted his parishioners to plant coffee trees. But these were subsistence farmers. Coffee takes years to produce fruit, and they couldn't afford to wait. So Father Romero did something no one had ever thought of. He assigned the planting of coffee trees as penance during confession. You've heard of saying Hail Marys. In this corner of Colombia, you planted coffee instead. It worked. The practice spread across the diocese, and by 1808, Colombia shipped its very first commercial export, just 100 bags out of the port of Cúcuta. Modest, but the buyers noticed. The highlands had the altitude, the volcanic soils, and the rainfall that Arabica coffee loves. Through the 1800s, production exploded, from 100 bags in 1808 to over 600,000 bags by 1900. But the early coffee economy had a problem. Merchant families in Bogotá and Medellín controlled everything. The farmers grew the coffee. The merchants got rich. That changed in 1927 when Colombia's coffee growers did something extraordinary. They founded the Federación Nacional de Cafeteros, the FNC. And this wasn't just a trade association. Using a tax on every bag exported, the FNC built rural schools, paved mountain roads, funded hospitals, and guaranteed farmers a floor price for their harvest. It functioned like a government for the coffee regions, and it earned the loyalty of generations of smallholder families. But even with the FNC behind them, Colombian coffee had a visibility problem. By the late 1950s, only 4% of American coffee drinkers could name Colombia as a producing country. Premium beans were being blended anonymously into supermarket cans. So in 1960, the FNC made a bold move. They hired a top New York advertising agency and created a character, Juan Valdez, a fictional Andean farmer with a white hat, his mule Conchita, and a mountain full of coffee behind him. Within 5 months of his debut in the New York Times, American recognition of Colombian coffee as the world's finest had risen 300%. The 100% Colombian seal became one of the most powerful food origin brands in history, the first time any producing country had ever branded a commodity directly at the consumer level. Then came the hard years. In 1989, the International Coffee Agreement collapsed, prices fell 50% overnight, and Vietnam flooded the market with cheap beans. Colombian farming families saw their incomes drop by as much as 70%. Some regions drifted toward illicit crops just to survive, but the crisis forced a reckoning. Colombia couldn't compete on price. The only way forward was quality. And that shift gave birth to the specialty era. In 2002, the first Juan Valdez Café opened in Bogotá, owned not by a corporation but by the farmers themselves through the FNC. Today, there are over 630 locations in 40 countries. International roasters started seeking single farms, micro-lots, specific villages. And in 2011, UNESCO inscribed Colombia's coffee cultural landscape as a World Heritage Site. Today, the 3 regions I focus on most here at ColombianSpecialtyCoffee.com tell that story beautifully. Huila delivers bold, fruit-forward cups, cherry, blackberry, raspberry. Nariño grows coffee at over 2,200 meters, one of the highest in the world, producing a cup of extraordinary sweetness and stone fruit character. And the AJ Cafetero, the coffee triangle, is the cultural heart of it all, producing that clean, balanced, caramel-sweet cup the world fell in love with. From a Jesuit penance to a UNESCO landscape, from 100 bags in 1808 to 630 coffee houses on 6 continents, The cup in your hand carries all of that history. I'm Don Dale, and this is ColombianSpecialtyCoffee.com. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one.